Welcome to BS Draftcast, where we are Brandon and Steven. We are back at you with another one. Gonna go over some of the winners and losers of the draft combine, and obviously the crazy day in the past couple days that we've seen within this offseason. As always, I got my man Steven on the other line. Steven, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I was doing a lot better up until about an hour ago, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Oh shit. Well, everyone, I'm sure if you're a sports fan tuning into this, I'm sure you already heard the news. uh, DK Metcalf has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers and signed a new contract of 5 years, 150 million, 30 million a year. That kind of tells me that George Pickens is getting thrown out the window. So we'll see what happens. But we'll dive into that here in a minute. That was just referring to Steven saying he was a lot better up until an hour ago. So let's dive right into it, man. The combine winners and losers of the combine. Who's your biggest winner of the combine? You think?
My boy Nick Emenwari out of South Carolina, man.
Who we
That
thought
dude.
Baltimore might get?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there goes that too. That's not happening now. Man, like we talked about it, like leading up to the draft, about just athletically, just how much of a freak he is, and he goes to the combine, and I mean, he just absolutely he just killed it. I mean, it seemed like every drill. Um, Obviously insanely athletic, big dude. Uh, but we talked about it before, man. He's not just he's not a just a box safety. Like he can play the box, but great in coverage, And obviously with the drills and everything, the fluidity that he moved with and everything like that, it pretty much sums up the fact that he can play on the back end too, man. So I think, in my opinion, he was going in the first round to me regardless. But I think after that combine, that pretty much just cemented him in probably as a top 20, 15, 20 pick.
Yeah, I think
So
he's
big
going
props to
high.
him.
Yeah, I think he's going high. Evan Worry, he killed it, top to bottom. He had such an amazing combine. At 4.38 too. Holy shit! I mean, teams are
Yeah, I
licking
mean
their chops.
the move. I mean, just he's so talented. He's so talented, and um, people compare him to Cam Chancellor. People compare him to all these different guys, and I'm just kind of like, he's kind of a, you know,
From the
he's kind of
NFL
an
draft,
anomaly.
from guys to
Like people compare him to Taylor Mays. Like athletically, yeah, you could say that, but I think he's more refined and more, understands the game of football than Taylor Mays did coming out of USC.
Yes, yeah.
I think that he's a better football player. But yeah, it's hard to really pin him again. Obviously the Sean Taylor comparisons and stuff, but we're not going to go there. Just
Yeah.
because Sean Taylor was so, great. Um, but yeah, he's just special, man. He's special.
I mean, 6'3", 220 running a 4.38 is just incredible. It's lightning. Um, get downhill, cover sideline to sideline. I mean, you name it, he can do it, which is awesome. I mean, I love it for him. I was kind of hoping that Emma Warrior may fall to Pittsburgh. Wishful thinking, obviously. Especially with that combine results. I mean, the guy absolutely just was lights out. So, who's your biggest loser?
Um, Biggest loser. Hmm. A lot of people would say Will Howard. He had a tough
Ooh,
showing throwing the
ooh,
ball. But I'm not gonna lie. I kind of agree with Shador Sanders with what he said. He's throwing the guys he's never thrown to. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
and Will Howard too. To me, he wasn't like a day one. Like, dude, you got it. You cannot miss this guy.
Right.
Like to me, he's a day two guy. So I wouldn't say him necessarily. Uh, Gunnar Helm out of Texas, tight end. He had a rough combine. I mean, I think people kind of overprojected his 40 time. I think they thought he was going to run a lot faster, but if you watch him, he's not a up the seam kind of guy. You know, he's not Kyle Pitts or whatever. You know, he's a chain mover, and he can make plays. You know, but I mean, just across the board, he had a pretty rough combine. So, yeah, I'd probably go with Gunner.
So I just have a little article that I pulled up from Hunt News. They do kind of a little bit of everything, and they put their projections of winners and losers. This is the first article that popped up, so I grabbed it, and it was fresh. And their winners are Jackson Dart, Shamar Stewart, Matthew Golden, which that's pretty fair. I agree with that assessment.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. Absolutely.
And then the losers, they have Shador Abdul and Isaiah Bond. Now I want to read
Uh,
why they have Shador as a loser. Which I can't. I didn't even read it. I haven't read it. I haven't seen it.
I think it's interviews, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's exactly. As I'm skimming through this, it says while Sanders might not have done any on-field testing or measurements during the combine, his draft stock still took a noticeable hit. Some argued that Sanders could have put questions regarding his athleticism to rest had he done the testing, but he did not. More importantly, there have been long been questions about Sanders' character, with multiple teams reporting having bad meetings with him. These concerns could only grow. Lastly, his father, Colorado head coach Deion Sanders, even told media members that wide receiver Jim Horn Jr. was his favorite son this weekend. Despite not being related to Horn, a statement that Sanders did not seem to respond too well to. So
Hmm.
clearly, they're talking about his character. He's kind of obviously he's going to perform at the pro day. I do believe he did say that. I'm pretty sure. So, but the big thing for quarterbacks, man, like if you're a top prospect, which Shador is a top prospect quarterback, do I think he's a day one? Absolutely not. But thankfully, I'm sure the Browns will take him. I mean, it's just what the Browns do. But whenever you're in these interviews, man, you got to stay calm, cool, collected, poised, not posed. You got to stay poised. And I mean, you can't just come off as this cocky asshole that's like, yeah, I'm the best.
Right.
And I mean, it probably is going to hurt draft stock, but I have a feeling Cleveland Browns, I still think they're taking him, to be honest with you. Or maybe Jackson Dart rises up and they're like, okay, we'd rather have Jackson Dart. Maybe we see Jackson Dart go way sooner than Shador Sanders now, just for the sheer fact of the way he runs his mouth, and just because his dad's who his dad is and who he thinks he is. Maybe he drops a lot, and hopefully it's not the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's a possibility, man. I mean, you got to do some interviews, dude. I mean, it's a job interview. I mean, it's the same thing that,
Yes.
us normal folks have to go through every time we go to get hired somewhere. You got to have a job interview. You got to be, you got to be presentable. You got to be professional, and this is I mean, you're going to get your franchise guy. Like, this is the guy that you want to take over your $1 billion team or whatever. Like, this is, that guy that's supposed to be the face of your franchise. And I mean, you have to ace those interviews, and you can't come off as a cocky dick. Like, you just can't. I mean, I don't give a damn who your daddy is. We've seen it with the Bronny James. It's like, I
Yeah.
don't give a damn who your daddy is. Who are you?
Yes.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Now you have Abdul Carter. The breakdown of Abdul Carter. Carter is probably the best player in this year's draft. He wreaked havoc as a pass rusher all season in a competitive conference, and even seemed to step it up in the playoffs. That being said, an important part of the combine is the medical tests done on the players. And Carter's test came up showing he has a stress reaction in his right foot. While Carter won't be having surgery, this is still certainly reason for him to worry, potentially giving teams a reason to have him fall down the board a little bit. Listen, a stress reaction in his right foot, ain't no one give a damn about that. I'm sorry. Dude, talking about Abdul Carter. This dude is a dog. I don't agree with this take. What's your thoughts? Do you think that if he's not having surgery, then clearly the doctors are like, this is something that's going to heal just fine. Like, do you think this is going to hurt him?
So I was reading that he went to see some specialists and stuff, and they told him that like he would not require surgery, like you said, um, but it should heal with just rest, you know. So I think he has plenty of time. There's not a fracture or anything yet. Obviously, you know that can lead to a fracture, but man, he he's too talented, dude. I mean, he's not gonna just plummet down the draft boards, you know. I think it's blown out of proportion, but that's what those medical for at the combine. Like they look over freaking everything. I mean,
Yes.
to the, I mean, the hair on your head, you know. So which they have to. Um, but I don't think it's going to affect his draft stock at all. And I would take him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
Absolutely. I mean, Jalen
yeah.
Carter was drag racing and totaled a car and all this other crazy shit, and he still got drafted in the first round. I don't think Abdul Carter's going anywhere, bro.
No.
And then Isaiah Bond, and the breakdown for Bond. Bond came into the combine claiming he was coming for Xavier Worthy's combine record of 4.21 40-yard dash, even telling reporters he might run a 4.1. Bond came up noticeably short, only running a 4.39. Make no mistake, that's still a very good time. However, when Golden was able to quite easily beat that, Bond ended the combine with a bit of an egg on his face. Add that to the fact that Golden was statistically better than Bond last season, and Bond may not be getting drafted as high as he would have hoped come April. All right, before we talk about this, I'm just going to say whoever wrote this, they said, bro, you got to put something down about this combine. We got to get an article out there. And this dude just slung some shit together. Because these takes are ass. Don't get me wrong. I think Golden's better than Bond as receiver. It's just what
Mm,
it is. I don't know if this contributes to him being the biggest loser. I mean, for me, yeah, he came in season run faster than 4.21. Ended up running a 4.39, which I mean, it makes you look like an asshole because you weren't even remotely close. Like if you ran a 4.22, okay, like that's fine. But bro, you ran a 4.39. Don't get me wrong, my fat ass ain't running no 4.39. I'm not saying I would, but when you come in bragging about that, saying you're gonna shatter, and you might run a 4.1, man, I don't know. That plays almost right into that character thing again.
yeah, it kind of does. I mean, I get being confident, you know, and I
Yes.
text you whenever Isaiah Bond went up to the line to run the 40, and I text
Yep.
you and I said, dude, Isaiah Bond's about to run. And I was just shocked, you know, like I was
Right.
shocked just because he is lightning. But there's a difference between play speed and 40-yard dash and all that other
Yes.
bullshit. But I thought for sure he was going to run faster because I mean he is so damn fast. Like the article said, 4.39 still a great freaking time. I mean it's a phenomenal time.
Yeah, it's lightning.
But whenever you sit there and you're like I might run in the 4.1s, you know, and you don't crack 4.2, ugh.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, it's like just go out there and just run your
Just
40,
run your
man. You
40.
know,
Run your 40, not your mouth. Plain and simple.
exactly. Yeah, run your 40, not your mouth. There you go. It's words to live by. Um,
Yep. Yeah,
yeah,
ask Rich
I mean,
Eisen.
I'll tell you who I was really disappointed with at the combine too was our guy Tyler Booker. Man, he had a rough
Yeah.
combine. I mean, shades of like Orlando Brown rough, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like he's just he's such a good player, though. I don't think it's going to affect him mainly because he plays on the inside. But those times, I mean, they stick out bad, dude.
Dude, his 3 cone was so bad.
He just looked, he just didn't look great. I don't know. I was surprised. I was. I didn't think that he was gonna, because he's not the athlete that Donovan Jackson is. He's not.
Right,
Um,
right, right, right.
but I didn't think that he was gonna have that much trouble. I figured he would test better than he did, obviously. So that one really, really surprised me.
I mean, he struggled across the board. It wasn't like he just struggled with like one thing. He struggled with everything.
He did. Yeah, he struggled with everything. He struggled with the bench press. I mean, he struggled. Obviously, the 40 for offensive linemen's overrated, but
Yes.
like I mean, he just struggled with everything, and it really sucked to see because Tyler's just he's he's such a good player, and it may drop him. I mean, it most likely will. He may drop to like the third round. I figured he was going to go in the second, maybe first at the time, but I can see him like more second. Um, but
Hey,
hell, that could drop him to the third, maybe the fourth. And if we took him, I wouldn't be upset about it.
hey, man. Evan Neal excelled at everything,
Yep.
and look at Evan Neal. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just what it is. You know who's a big one for me, and
Who's that?
actually two that I'm most happy for, and everyone knows I hate Ohio State, but man, Quinshawn and Travion, dude,
Yes.
bro, what an
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, the 40s they put down were great. Um, just I mean, they look good. I mean, I'm a big fan. Everyone obviously Ashton Genty, blah blah blah. I love it, Ashton Genty, but obviously Ashton Genty's Ashton Genty. These are two different style running backs than Ashton Genty, and but for them to put down what they did at the combine, I really think they helped their case. And me and you've talked about it over the last week or so. This running back class, dude, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, man.
I am too. Yeah, the running backs are making a comeback, dude. Marion Hampton had a really good combine. Uh,
Trevor Etienne,
Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. He had a rough one, but like that's not his style. Devin Neal, the guy out of Kansas, I really like him too, but like for Caleb, that's not his style. Like Caleb's not a burner. You know what I mean? Like
right?
he's a big, powerful back that he hits the hole quick. He's a one cut guy and he's gone. Like he knows he sees the hole and he goes. So I don't see an issue with that. Just like I don't see an issue with Devin Neal's necessarily because Devin Neal isn't he's not that guy that's out there that's burning people down the field. He's just your typical just I don't know bowling ball running back. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
he's very talented. I think he can be a workhorse guy. Yeah, the 40 stunk, but I don't think it should really affect him. He reminds me of Alfred Morris. Yeah, he reminds
Yeah,
me of
that's a
Alfred
good. Yeah,
Morris.
I like that. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I like that.
Yeah, with these backs, man, they look great. R.J. Harvey out of UCF had a great combine. Happy for him. He looked good. Holy shit. Moved really well. Bishop Tootin out of Virginia Tech, he had awesome 40. So yeah, the backs are really looking good, man. Freaking running backs are finally starting to make a comeback after a few years of. It seemed like the running backs are starting to kind of get phased out. So I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, same. I agree with you 100%. Receiver side, there's some good receivers. Hey, maybe Baltimore finally gets that big body receiver. They go get Dante Thornton, dude. 6'5", 4'3", 40, bro. Woo! Zay. Oh my goodness.
Can't catch a cold. Can't catch a damn ball, but
He definitely can't catch.
he's got everything you want, though. I mean,
He has
physically,
literally everything. Yes.
he
And
does. He
the
ran a
bad part is, I think someone's gonna reach on him. Just
I
just
think so too.
because of what he is. He's 6'5". He ran a 4.3. I mean, he is lightning. Like, there's no doubt. You watch any college film, the dude is lightning. If he catches that ball, bro, good luck catching him. But
Yeah, and a
it's a
lot of them Tennessee receivers, they they come out with a limited route tree and that vertical
yes.
offense just run. Like that's kind
Yep.
of their offense. Like just
Just
go get
go.
open.
Just go.
Yeah, yeah. Like Jalen Hyatt, he's kind of struggled to find his footing. Um, Josh Palmer's done well for himself. He's been solid. The injuries have kind of hampered him a little bit, but he's done well. Uh, Cedric Tillman for Cleveland, he kind of came on a little bit last year. But
He
yeah,
played
they
well,
just
yeah.
yeah they just need a little more time to develop just because they're their offense is just it's different than what's in the league, obviously. But
Right.
yeah, receivers, man. A lot of talent at receiver, man. I feel like there's some guys at the top, but I think there's some gems too that you can find.
In the
You
later
know,
rounds.
once you get past
Yeah.
your big name guys, you know, and I think Thornton could be one of the guys that really. I mean, obviously he helped his draft stock tremendously. But them dudes out of Iowa State, man, another big winner for me was Jaden Higgins.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jaden Higgins had a he. I thought he was around the 4.5s, but he ended up running a 4.47, which is really good for him because he's a big receiver. I mean,
It's huge.
he's big, contested balls, you know, like just really happy for him for running that 4.47. And
And I
then
think
Knoll, he
Jaden, you
blazed
might
it.
be one of them players you can get second round, early third round. You know what I mean? I think that's because you have your top receivers, obviously T Mac, Golden. So I mean the list goes on, but like Jaden, I think you could get in the second round, and that could be a Baltimore prospect, that big body that they've been looking for. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if they go if he were to draft him. I mean, obviously, it seems like speed kills in this league, and getting get, getting that speed on the outside, but your speed guys say, and I mean, yes, Thornton is an absolute burner, but at the same time, do you take a person that has proved in college that he can actually catch, or do you take speed over catching ability and hope that you can coach catching?
Well, well, speaking from personal experience, Miles Boykin had an amazing combine, and he was trash for us. I mean, trash.
Dude plays like
And
paper, dude.
he's big body receiver that plays like he doesn't extend out of his body, and it's blew my mind. But yeah, me personally, I would love to get Jaden Higgins. I mean, I don't know if he'll. We would probably have to trade up for him now. I think if he ran the 4.5s, he might have been in our area. But since he ran that 4.47 and his ability to just pluck the ball out of the air, I mean, teams covet that. I mean,
That is true.
they want that so bad.
Buffalo.
And yeah, honestly, like teams they love that. Um, and it's hard not to. He's 6'4", 212, runs a 4.47, can jump out the gym. Um, and has the college production to prove it. So I was really hoping Pat Bryant, our dude out of Illinois, I was hoping that he was gonna run a good 40, but he had a rough combine. Mainly in the 40-yard dash, he had a rough combine. He ran a 4.61, which I was hoping he was gonna be in like a 4.55. Um, but it just wasn't to be. I was watching him, I was cheering him while he ran the first one. I was like, damn, like come back on the next one, like get under that because I mean you look at it and it's like tenths of a second and stuff, and everybody's like, well, it's
Right.
slow, but like it'll hurt his draft stock. Um, when they see 4.6, they're like, oh god, you know. So shout out to him, man. It sucks. I was hoping that he was gonna run a better 40. Hopefully, at his pro day, he turns up a better 40.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. You know who actually is a big winner for me? Um, and this is like the sought after like position, the tight end position. Obviously, you have your dogs at tight end, and everybody's looking for their next Brock Bowers. But but bro, Terrence Ferguson had a hell of a combine.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Terrence Ferguson, that 4.63, like yeah, he's not burning down the field, but like he's kind of like a do it all player. He can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he
Good
can. Yeah,
hands. I mean, just literally everything. He good hands. He can block a little bit if you mean I like that for Terrence. I mean, it's gonna be crazy over the next. What was it? Penn State's tight end went back, didn't he? Um,
no, he's
no,
staying.
he did. Yeah. So like tight end class, it's not like you have Gronk and Aaron Hernandez and Travis Kelsey, and you don't have these big names. But I don't know, man. You might be shocked with some of these tight ends coming in this year.
Man, I love the tight ends coming in this year. Obviously, starting off with Warren, you know, he's a freak, man. He's a hell of an athlete. But I mean, Loveland, I love Harold Fannin out of Bowling Green. I know he's got his knocks or whatever because he's a little undersized or whatever. But like in this league now, if he goes to the right system, obviously, like if he goes to like the Rams or something, somebody who can use him the way that he needs to be used, I think he could be extremely successful. Um, so I'm I'm pretty high on the tight end class this year, and I know tight ends can be iffy, but I'm pretty excited about it.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Oh, 100%.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Who's a player in this draft that scares you? Like, who's somebody that you're just like, ugh. Like, I don't know about this dude. Like, he's projected to go high, or he's projected to whatever, but you're kind of like, ugh.
Hmm. Hmm. This might be cliche as hell, but bro, every quarterback. I'm just gonna keep it real. Every quarterback in this draft.
I can agree with that.
Honestly, Cam Ward's the first quarterback off the board, hands down.
Yeah, yeah,
But
without question. Yeah.
and yes, Cam Ward is very calm. He's very collected. He seems like has the game slowed down in front of him. He doesn't get flustered. But bro, I've seen some of them games. I've watched some Cam Ward games, man. That Cal game, I was texting you during it. That game against Cal when they went down 28-7 and they were getting pressure to Cam, bro. Whew, I know everyone has bad days, but bro, this man had a Mark Sanchez. Like it was bad. Like dude, Cam Ward is a specimen. He's incredible. And like they're trying to compare him to Jaden. Me and you were high on him last year. If you go back and watch any of the videos from last year, we love Jaden Daniels. But
Yep.
bro, the player that scares me, it's just like I don't know. I got to go with any quarterback in this draft, and just because Cam Ward's the number one coming off the board, I got to go Cam Ward. And let's be honest, Tennessee at number one. Who the hell is he throwing the ball to?
Yeah.
Who's spelling him at running back position to run play action? No knock towards Tajay. I love Tajay, but still, and that offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, the O line needs work. Receiving core definitely needs work. I mean, I'm hoping he can bring out the good in a Okonkwo and how good I think he could be. But man, that offense is they got JC, they got Skoronski, but then the rest of the offensive line is kind of like, like especially at the right tackle position. It's like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like it's gonna be tough. I mean, they're gonna need a mobile quarterback, so he does make the most sense to go there, I guess.
I I guess. I mean, hey, listen. If he goes to Tennessee, because obviously it doesn't seem that they're done with the Will Levis experiment. Like they're cutting it the cord. And hats off to Tennessee because Pittsburgh should have cut the cord with Kenny Pickett way before they did. So hats off to Tennessee for doing it. But
Hmm.
maybe we finally see the Traylon Burks that we've been waiting for.
Oh, I don't know.
Dude, I love Traylon. I love him, dude. I love him. Like, I don't ever want to give up on this man, but, bro, oh my God.
Yeah, he's been. I high hopes for him coming out of freaking out of Arkansas, and yeah, it hasn't translated. I mean, he's had a lot of up and down with quarterbacks and stuff in his very short career, but yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't done anything. I mean, honestly.
Nothing. Literally nothing. And I mean, last year he got hurt and missed the rest of the season. It was out for the rest of the season. So,
Yep.
Traylon. I don't know, man. I think that's my biggest fear. I'm gonna reverse the question right back to you. Who's your biggest like? I don't know. I don't buy it.
Well, I didn't see him going like super high up until he ran a 4.3 at the combine. And I'm not talking about Dante Thornton. I'm talking about Darian Porter out of Iowa State.
I was literally
Um,
gonna. You know, it's funny. Before before you start, I literally I can play it back. I'll clip it and send it to you. I literally switched the podcast screen to cornerbacks in their 40, and Darian Porter's just sitting there in second. And I literally had the mouse circling it as you were getting ready to say, and I'm not talking about Dante Thornton. And I was sitting here circling Darian Porter because that's who I was going to go with.
Darian Porter makes me nervous, dude. He makes me nervous. There's a few guys in this draft that make me nervous, but him especially. And I'll tell you why. The dude played college for 6 years. Okay? 6 years.
Kenny Pickett.
Right. He played college ball for 6 years, and he made his first start in 2024. His first start in 2024 with that athleticism at the college level at Iowa State. You know, so he makes me nervous. Now, obviously, you look at him; he's big, clearly, he's 6'3". You know, he has everything you look for measurable
He
wise.
is a
But,
specimen.
but dude, he makes me nervous. I mean, just he makes me nervous just because of his. Why didn't you start for those
At Iowa
5 years?
State. At Iowa State.
Like, why didn't you start? He should
Like
have started. You know, like
you would think.
with those numbers, with those measurables, like that's what blows my mind is with those measurables. Because I mean, he blew up the combine. I mean, destroyed it.
Bro,
And
4.340, 10-foot 11 broad jump, like 36.5-inch vertical. His arms measured at 33 and an eighth. Like this dude is a specimen. He's a created player on Madden.
yeah, and like I try to give him a benefit of the doubt because uh he played receiver and then he switched to corner, but he switched to corner in 2019. So like that's still even if you had to like
Yeah,
take a season or whatever to learn the you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's still 5 years or 4
Yeah.
years.
So okay, no, I screwed up. He he played receiver until 2021 and then in 22 he switched to corner. So like that's still time to me for you to make
Develop.
that transition.
Yes. And
Yeah,
going from receiver to corner, yes, cornerback's one of the most difficult positions because the receiver knows what they're doing and you don't. But
for
you
sure.
played on the other side of that. So you should have a general understanding of what you can do as a corner to combat against the receiver. Get him off of his route tree, get him off of his where he's trying to go, beating him to a spot. And you didn't get your first start until this year for Iowa
And I
State.
went
I mean, we're not talking like he was sitting behind Champ Bailey, Asante Samuel, Nnamdi Asomugha.
and I mean I think one of his best fits is going to be a scheme like Pittsburgh's, dude, a press man scheme, like where he can get his hands on you. You know what I mean? Like I think that would be his probably his best. You know, ideally that would be the best defense that he could
Hey, if we can get him in the
play
third
for.
round, I'll take him
That's
because
fair.
we ain't
Yeah,
got a
that's brilliant.
second.
Nope, second's gone. That 4.3 though, somebody's gonna
Someone's
reach
reaching.
for him.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, somebody's gonna reach for him. But he makes me nervous. Shamar Stewart, he makes me a little nervous. We talked about him with the lack of sack production
Yes.
in college. But I really like him. I do. I really like him. Especially against the run. He's dominant. He showed up a lot lighter than dude, he showed up a lot lighter than I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
I think he was like 260 something.
267.
Yeah, my freaking tablet wasn't loading. Yeah, 267 he shows up. And I thought he was going to be around 280, which I know 13 pounds, blah blah blah. But I thought he was around 280,
A
290.
big
Like
difference if we're talking pros, though.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, he has all the physical tools in the world. So I hope that he can. And the same with Darian Porter. I hope that both these guys can go in and have great careers. But you just got to go in the air of caution. You know, when you draft these guys. And was that you that was telling me about Will Campbell with the short arms and all that other bullshit?
Yes, that's me and you.
Yeah. See, I
They
just.
were talking about Will Campbell's short arms, and you know what? This is a good take for the podcast. We
Mhm.
talked about the short arms, and Steven said, you know what? I'm gonna do some research myself. And Steven got on and looked up the longest arms in combine history, and it was like I think top 25 or something like that. And what was it like? 5 of the 25 were good, and the rest were absolute trash.
Yeah, yeah. I cannot remember. I wish I could find that list because it was like it was terrible. Like the guys with the shortest arms were like really good, and a lot of them were like interior linemen, you know.
Yes.
But whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, like there was no Pro Bowls, and then you start getting the guys with like shorter arms, and like it was just mind blowing how many guys have quote unquote shorter arms that were substantially better than the guys that have quote unquote longer arms.
Right, right. Yeah, the short arm thing to me, man, I don't like it. It's just like it's like the man thing. Like, I mean, granted, Kenny Pickett sucked anyway, but like, dude, if your technique is flawless, who gives a shit? You're beating the edge rusher to the spot anyway. It doesn't matter if your arms are short or not.
No, and we talked about it talked about it the other day too, because Panay Sewell was one of them. Because when
Yes.
he came out, that was one of his knocks that they were worried about, and they were like, "Oh well, yeah, he does have shorter. His arms are on the shorter side," and it's like, dude, this guy is like the consensus best tackle in this draft, and right now he's arguably the best
The best
football
tackle in the
player
league.
in the league. Yeah, like Rashawn Slater had the same problem because he's a little undersized. He's 6'4". He's not your freaking sexy 6'6" tackle. You know what I mean? He's 6'4". But like Rashawn Slater had the same problem. He has short arms. Pro Bowl tackle. You know what I mean? Like it's about the player, man. And if he struggles and he has issues, do what the Titans did with Peter Skoronski and just kick him
Kick him
inside, and I bet
inside.
you got a Pro Bowl guard. Yeah,
Yep.
that's where I'm
I
at with it.
mean, Evan Neal, literally the specimen of all specimens, the prototypical tackle that you could dream to have on your team, and this dude is on his way out the league.
Yeah, yeah, it can happen to anybody.
Well, pretty good coverage on the combine. Some winners, losers, who we're scared of, who we think might be junk. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I hope that a lot of teams reach on corners, and one of these other corners fall to Pittsburgh in the third round because Pittsburgh ain't taking a quarter in the first. Oh, it's happening. I don't
Dude,
think
I don't know, man. If I'm Pittsburgh, that's what I'm doing. I
if
mean,
they,
you got your receiver.
yeah.
Like,
Well, here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. Hear me out. I was actually just thinking about this. Obviously, Pittsburgh. Everyone kind of honed in. Pittsburgh's taking Golden and Buka. They're taking a receiver. Well, they ain't taking a receiver now unless they plan on trading GP in the upcoming weeks and get some draft picks for GP, and they still go get Mbuka or they go get Golden or whoever may be there on the board. But let's just say they got the receiver. Pittsburgh sitting there, 21. Maybe people start falling. The board doesn't fall the way that everyone's projecting. I don't think he's going to be there, but what if Ashton Genty is on the board at number 21? Now you got GP, you got DK, you got Ashton Genty. Bro, if you put a quarterback in that offense and they don't succeed, there should be something in their contract that they had to give back all the money that they stole, and they're not allowed to enter the league, be in the league anymore.
Totally acceptable. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like Najee is going to be back in the black and gold. R.I.P. It sucks. I hate it. I want Najee back. But I don't blame Najee if he doesn't want to come back. They did him dirty. I mean, it's just what it is. GP's going to back up Derrick Henry in Baltimore. I mean, not GP. Najee's going to back up Derrick Henry in Baltimore. That'd be nuts.
Hell no, you ain't. Yeah, no. Baltimore, we don't need any more running backs. We don't need more tight ends, dude. We need edge rushers and corners and interior linemen. Damn it. And a receiver over 6 foot.
Yeah, receiver over 6 foot's a big one. And not one that's washed up.
And
Baltimore does not want Cooper Kupp.
Shit.
Baltimore does not want Cooper Kupp.
No, we do not want Cooper Kupp. Don't feel like you guys have to make a move now because Pittsburgh traded for DK and you go trade for frickin' Cooper Kupp. Like,
oh, we got Cooper Kupp for a 5th.
Yeah, no, we're going to use his contract. If you guys make the Rams eat his contract, then
that's fine.
Throw him a frickin' 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Over.
We'll take. It's just kind of like the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson being in Pittsburgh. Like we paid him $1 million and Russell Wilson was here for pennies. I'm fine with it. But other than that, I don't want him. But in all seriousness, Genty's on the board or one of these top tier corners are on the board. What do you do if you're Pittsburgh?
If Genty's on the board, shit. I'd really have to think, dude. I'd flip a coin.
That's a hard one, man.
It is a hard one, but man, they really do need to they need to bolster that defense because the defense it's not getting any younger. You got DK and you got a pretty loaded running back class. You know, I think Jordan James could be there in the 3rd round out of Oregon.
My boy.
You know, I think Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech could be there. He got a really good combine. Shout out to him too. But I think with the depth of this draft and the need at corner that they have for somebody next to JPJ it almost outweighs the running back. But I mean, it's still Ashton Genty, so you really got to sit there and think.
I'll be honest, man. I can see Pittsburgh signing a cornerback in free agency. Omar Kuhn seems very aggressive, like unlike the Steeler fans are used to.
Yeah,
and
true.
I feel that there's a good amount of cornerback free agents. Let me pull up the list. Not running backs, cornerbacks. Oh no, I'm using Sport Track. I wonder if it's flagged. So, I mean, this up on the podcast we have Carlton Davis out the gate, Javarius Ward. I don't want DJ Reed. I'm sorry. I mean, Asante Samuel Jr. I really don't want Ronald Darby. I don't want Shaquille Griffin. Dante Jackson had a lot of interceptions, but he was burnt like toast. I don't want a 72-year-old Stephon Gilmore. I really don't want Mike Hilton back. But Jeff Okudah. So, I mean, there's some names. Kendall Fuller, I mean, he's older, but it's not a terrible look, depending on contract-wise. I feel that Pittsburgh is going to make a move on a corner in free agency, and then the draft board's wide open at that point because it's going to be okay. Do we take the best player on the board, whoever that may be, or do we go with a position in need? Because while we're on the topic with Pittsburgh, me and you've been talking about it pretty much all day. I just don't see Pittsburgh being able to pay TJ Watt. With the contracts that Max Crosby got and the contract that Miles Garrett just got, I don't see Pittsburgh being able to pay him. Because Miles Garrett to me and TJ Watt are 1A and 1B. Whichever way you want to put them, they're 1A and 1B. And this man just got 100 and what was it? What did I text you? 150 million or something like that. And bro, TJ's going to command the same amount of money, if not more. So it sucks as a Steeler fan to think that way, but it's just it's realistic and it's the truth. What do you think Pittsburgh should do? I know we've talked about it numerous times. Do you think Pittsburgh should look at potentially trading someone like TJ Watt or maybe trading Minka Fitzpatrick, try to get something out of Minka?
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be surprising if they did. Um, it wouldn't be surprising if they traded Minka to try and levy a contract for TJ or something of that sort. Um, my thing with Minka is like if you're not going to use him right, you might as well trade him. Um, while he's still young, you know.
Well, he played when he first came. He was exactly what we traded for.
Yeah, yeah.
They
I mean,
used him correctly.
he was dominant. Yeah, and he was one of the best safeties in the league. You know, like without question. So I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why that changed. You know, and I always felt
Mike
like whenever
Tomlin
like a
and
big
Terrell Austin.
tackle. Well, yeah. I feel like whenever a big tackle needed to be made, it always seemed like Minka made it. Um, throughout the course of the season, like whenever there's a big tackle that needs to be made, like there's like a big run that gets broken free or whatever, it always seemed like Minka was the guy that ended up bringing the guy down. Um, But they just haven't been playing to his skill set. He's been playing a completely different role. And I thought with Deshaun Elliott, I thought Elliott was going to kind of take the box role and kind of freelance like he had previously. But they kind of just flip flopped a little bit.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not. I mean, you gotta save money somewhere. I mean, you just paid DK a shit ton of money. You're still looking for a quarterback, so you haven't addressed that issue yet. This draft isn't one of those drafts where it's like, oh yeah, Lamar Jackson at pick 32. Like once Jackson Dart goes, then it kind of starts to, you know, peter off a little bit. Um,
Yep.
there's a chance that Jackson Dart can go top 15, top 20. So I mean, after that, it's like you got to sign quarterbacks for agency. Sam Darnold kind of sucked everywhere he was until he got to the Vikings last year. Uh, Russ isn't coming back. Justin Fields, you kind of get what you get with Justin Fields. Um, Aaron Rodgers looked like a shell of himself last year. So I don't know. You got to save money somewhere and try and get your guy. And they've been tied to Anthony Richardson, like you said earlier, and we talked about Joe Milton as a trade possibility. So if you make that happen, then you got a cheap quarterback. I mean, more Milton than Anthony Richardson, but still cheaper than what you would be paying for some of these big name quarterbacks. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Pittsburgh's in a weird spot. They are because they're just the problem is their defense isn't getting any younger. That's
And they're the
that's kind of
highest
the issue.
paid defense in the league. Their defense is at $159 million, and Minka Fitzpatrick is the second highest paid on the defense to next to T.J. Watt. And T.J. Watt's contract expires this year.
Yeah. So, and then you got to think too. You know, it's like is he gonna fall off? Kind of like JJ did. Like the injuries gonna start piling up. Like what's you gotta start thinking about that shit. And it sucks, but that's just the reality of it with these athletes, especially guys like TJ who go 100% every single snap. Eventually their bodies just typically break down.
Right.
Um, it's a lot to take into account, man. I mean, it is like it sounds easy just sitting here talking about it, but like the reality of it is like if you screw up and you sign a guy to a 5 year, $150 million contract or whatever, like DK, and then he just is a dud, that'll set you back for years.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't know, man. TJ and Minka are the two highest paid, and it what's crazy to me, absolutely mind blowing. Actually, looking at this number, our offense is $100 million less than our defense. Our offense totals 57 million. Our defense totals 159 million. That's
yeah,
insane.
and you look at the defense and you're like, who are we paying? Because like obviously you're paying TJ, you're paying Minka, and they gave it Cam that insane contract. So like,
And then
but
PQ
it's like,
came in.
yeah, well PQ came in and he commanded a large chunk of money. And he played well, but I mean he kind of underperformed for the money that he was making and what it was kind of expected of him to come into the
Yes.
Pittsburgh's defense. I mean he was just up and down. Um, but I mean just shit like that, like you got to like take into account, dude. It's like how like you got to kind of like look ahead,
And
and
honestly, like
it's hard.
I pulled up Baltimore's just because you're a Baltimore fan. I pulled up Baltimore's spending in like money situation, and I understand that Pittsburgh and Baltimore are very defensive oriented people, and very like defense is gonna take us to where we need to be. But looking at Baltimore, they have 111 million spent on defense on offense, and 130 million spent on defense. It's pretty balanced. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty evenly distributed. Yeah.
now the Eagles on the other hand, just because they have so many rookies, the whole team's Georgia Bulldogs from like the last 2 years. Um, their defense is 79 million, offense 133 million. Obviously, you have Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Saquon, and the crazy part is Saquon's not even Saquon is less paid than Bryce Huff, Devonta, Dallas Goddard, Darius Slay. Well, obviously Darius Slay is Jordan Matalia, Lane Johnson, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. I mean, so he's like eighth down the list of paid, and
Yeah.
we're talking about a dude that could have won MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of players they go into the like especially Saquon getting drafted by the Giants and them just being on like a downhill spiral. And I think that he was like, I want to go to a winning team where I'm going to get the ball and I will take less money so we could keep winning. And the thing with Howie Roseman is the dude just, like Milton Williams. Milton Williams had a great year. They don't need to re-sign him. They have so much depth and they have so many draft picks that they'll just find somebody else. So like when a rookie contract does come up, it's not as like shit. Like we got to re-sign him. Like we have to re-sign him. Like he is so far ahead of the game that it's not even funny. And
Yeah,
I mean Howie Roseman's just on top of his shit. And whenever guys start getting over the hill, he recognizes that, and he's like, you're gonna come back cheap or you're gone. Like that's just that's how it works, man. But yeah, this his his foresight is unbelievable.
bro. I'm looking at salary cap space this year. The Patriots have 121 million cap space,
Yep, yep,
and then there's the Ravens with 10 million.
yep. So we roll.
I wonder what DK does for Pittsburgh's cap space. I don't know how if it hurts it. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm. I don't know. Yeah, the salary cap in the NFL is weird as hell. Like the way it works. I really just don't understand it. To be perfectly honest with you, like I just don't.
Dude, I don't see it anywhere. And there's a post on it. I apologize if anything pops up that shouldn't be on. Does people better this mean? Do we have enough cap space to sign Justin Fields or Donald at market value? When what about TJ's extension, running back situation? I thought we had around 64 before making this big sign. Fill me in. So, oh, so his extension doesn't kick in till next year. So that means that we only take on 18 million cap space. That leaves us with like 46 million to diverse out to whatever position we want to go to. Damn.
Yeah, that ain't bad. Yeah, that ain't bad at all.
Well, what's even crazier is cap space for Pittsburgh next year is 164 million. Damn.
Hmm.
So we're losing everyone. Let me see. 2026. Yeah, the list goes from 58 people under contract to 26 people under contract. Damn.
Yeah, Con's gonna be freaking getting some hand cramps, dude, trying to fill out all that shit. Damn.
Holy shit. Yeah, we go from wow. That's a hurt piece, dude. Damn. That's a lot of people free agents.
Dude, I can't believe the Panthers. That team's so ass. You guys have like 20 million in cap space.
Oh, bro, they have nothing. I don't get it. Like, why?
Dude, they need to start freaking. They need to start restructuring some. Dan Morgan needs to start restructuring some damn contracts, dude.
That's who's taking
Taylor
up. Like,
Moton,
who is taking up? Yeah, that's what I was about
31
to.
million.
Oh my god. Are you on over the cap?
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that website, bro. Oh my god. Robert Hunt, 21
31
million.
million.
Derek Brown. Damn. Damn.
A. Sean and Shy Tuttle are 9.6 and 9.3. God damn, get Miles Sanders out of there, dude.
Yeah, he's just a sponge.
He's a. I was never high on him. I wasn't. He's a bum, dude.
All right. All right. So cap space this year: Patriots, Chargers, Cardinals, Commanders, Seahawks, Steelers, Vikings, Jaguars, Titans, Lions. Damn, the Lions got 55 million. Uh oh. Uh oh. Lions. Lions need to get some backups for the backups, bro.
I thought for sure DK was going to the Chargers. I really did. I'm like, dude,
I mean,
like
bro, you told me on the
the
phone DK wanted warm weather and a contender, and they sent him to a place that has neither.
dude.
Your exact words were, "Well, Pittsburgh and Baltimore are out of the question for DK." 20 minutes later, I'm sending you a screenshot. DK in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like what the yeah.
Him and GP out here doing sign language, talking shit.
freaking crazy.
Stand on business. I mean, what's your thoughts in all seriousness? Is this the writing on the wall that, hey, GP, we ain't paying you next year, bro? Sorry.
I think it's just kind of the Steelers just being like, dude, we're sick of your freaking blow ups and your little outbursts and shit. Like, you're incredibly talented, but like, we got insurance in case you start acting up again, and we'll let your ass go. Like,
But
you know,
your insurance is this an older version of him.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, that's how Pittsburgh rolls, though. I mean, look at their history. AB, Martavis Bryant, freaking like. I mean, you could just go back. Like they get these head cases at receiver. I don't know why, but they do. Like that's how they roll. And a lot of that has to do with the coach. Yeah, I said it.
Thank
A lot of that
you.
has to do with the coach. Like, you got to freaking have some damn discipline with these guys. You can't just let them, like, just go out there and take their pads off and freaking run up the damn field and leave. Like, you got to put your foot down with these dudes. Like, you're the coach. You're the leader of that locker room. You are. This is your team. Like, just pull them aside, just be, hey man, don't get off. Like, it's like, that doesn't do shit. Like, it doesn't do anything, dude. Like, there's got to be some sort of hierarchy here. Like,
I
Colin,
agree.
you're the coach, dude, and it seems like we follow the trail of breadcrumbs back, and you're the common denominator. We have all these
Yep.
great receivers that get drafted or traded for or whatever, and they all end up flaking out.
Every time. Every time. Or they hit a rookie wall because, we don't want people to hit rookie walls.
Yeah, I never heard from Chase Claypool again. Another waste of
uh,
talent.
that that uh that clip that I sent you that said, if you want a big body receiver that can go up and catch the ball with his feet, Claypool's your guy.
Yep, put him in between the numbers though.
Now here's my question for you. All right. What would you like to see? Obviously, Baltimore's kind of strapped for cash. What would you like to see them do uh, in a realistic fashion? Let's just no trades, no nothing. Just in the free agency. What would you like to see them try and go get?
Honestly, with just the cap situation, I mean, like you said, we're pretty restricted on like what we can do. I mean, I don't know what kind of money like a guy like Chase Young is looking for, or like a DeMarcus Lawrence, who's older and injuries and whatnot. But like, it would be nice to try and get somebody that can bring some heat off the edge. Like, oh, you guys have Kyle Van Noy. Like, yeah, I know. But it would be nice to see something like that. But realistically, I, bro, I don't know what we can do. I mean, we got to do something with Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams, we signed him to a huge contract. I'm not sure what his cap hit is, but we signed him to a huge contract, and he just underperforms. I mean, last year he got benched, for an undrafted rookie, like not a rookie, but an undrafted player, a 5'8" safety. Like, Marcus Williams was kind of the Achilles heel of our defense, and we started to make a turn after we
Right,
benched him.
right. And they moved Kyle Hamilton back to his natural position.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got to go. I mean, I don't know. Once again, the dead money, you know, all that shit. Like, I'm not really sure how that works. I just know that it tells me like if they cut him, this is how much dead money they have, but this is how much they save against the cap. That's all I know. Um, that's all I care to know. But yeah, if getting rid of him somehow could alleviate some of the restraints with the cap, then I would like to see him, even with Chase Young, like a 1 year deal. I mean, I'm sure he's sick of 1 year deals, but you play like a 1 year deal kind of guy. So
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think we draft
What about
well.
what about with someone like Zadarius Smith who just got released by the Lions?
Screw
9
him.
sacks
Yeah.
last year.
No, I'm done. Yeah, we tried to re-sign his ass, and we had a handshake agreement with him, and then he was like, "Ah, I'm going to Minnesota or wherever the hell he went." I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah." So now, screw Zadarius Smith.
Mm, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not
Fair
a
enough.
Zadarius Smith guy. I loved Zadarius whenever he was here, but yeah, I just nah, I'm good. I'm trying to see what the
Not to add
I'm trying to
salt
see
to the
what
wound
it
as a
would
Ravens
take.
fan, obviously. But bro, my two favorite sports teams made two of the biggest trades that both my sports teams have ever seen. Luka Doncic in basketball and DK Metcalf in football. What a time to be alive. Listen, all I know is I don't think that instantly puts us in title contention by any stretch of the means. And we may still end up third in the division, but I promise
It
you
puts the
we.
Lakers. Sorry.
Oh, the Lakers in the title contention, absolutely.
If
But
they
for
don't win this
Pittsburgh,
freaking championship this year, they're trash.
well, LeBron got hurt last night or 2 nights ago. Last night.
Still, even if they don't win, they're trash.
I mean, they
LeBron's
are
fine. He'll be back.
they are kind of trash right now. You
No,
got
I'm
Luca,
kidding.
but
You got to win with that team.
I mean they are. I mean they've since the Luca trade, they've only lost like 3 games. But the Steelers aspect of it, it doesn't put us in title contention, I don't think. And but you can bet your ass that we will not go under 500, and that's all this trade was for, to guarantee it doesn't matter who's a quarterback. When you have two specimens as a receiver, one of them's going to make a play to win some games, and we're not going under 500.
I'm telling you,
I said
I
put that
think
out
that
there.
I think the Steelers phone, man. I think it's gonna be on fire, dude. I think people are gonna actually try and be like, "So what do you guys want for George?" You know, like I really.
I mean, I agree.
But I'm like, why would you trade for DK and then trade George? It's like that to me. That just doesn't make good sense.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. The other, the big, actually, the big contract that was just like, damn, the Josh Allen contract, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, JA got paid
I mean, paid.
330 million, $250 million guaranteed.
And I put it in perspective. Lamar Jackson's new contract that he got a couple years ago, he his entire contract is 260 million.
Mhm. Thank God.
It's nuts, man. It's crazy. We talked about the miles. Any other big signings so far? Devontae Adams,
Yeah,
um,
Devontae to the Rams.
which I mean, obviously we obviously Cooper Cup shop. They're clearly going to shop him like heavily. Watch Pittsburgh do some dumb shit and trade George Pickens for Cooper Cup. You watch, dude.
That'd be hilarious.
I'd be pissed.
I would laugh my ass off. I'd be like, dude, you guys, like, why?
Why are you going backwards?
I'm trying to see here. Oh, okay, yeah. Joey Bosa's working out for the 49ers. May team up with his brother.
Yeah, that was always a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, their defense is kind of like they've had a lot of moving pieces over the years. I mean,
With them two players though, like how do you load manage them? Because I mean, if they both play start of the season, you're only getting them for 9 games of the year.
yeah, exactly. So I would, especially with Joey, I would take Joey, and I'd say that he has like a back strain or something, and I would put him on injured reserve, and then I'd bring him back like week 14. Yeah,
If you're in title contention.
yeah. I'd bring him back week 14. If you get to the Super Bowl, you might be screwed. He's probably going to be hurt for the Super Bowl. But
It's too many weeks. You might have to start in week 15.
yeah, we got to get him a couple weeks to knock the rust off and stuff too. So like, I mean, dude, dude, he like when he was like prime, I mean, he was ridiculously good. But dude, he's been a he's been hurt year after year after year. It seems like it's been tough on him.
Yeah. He's been he's been plagued by injuries the last couple years. I mean, it's been bad. Like, we're not talking like, oh, he's out for a game or two. I mean, he's out for a while.
Um, Vikings re-signed Aaron Jones, 2 years, 20 mil. He kind of fell off at the end of the year last
Yeah,
year.
Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, both of them. Honestly,
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Mixon
they
was
they
on an
did.
absolute tear.
The Chiefs still somehow find a way to re-sign their players. They got Nick Bolton
Nick
back
Bolton.
on. Yeah, yeah, they got Nick Bolton back. Miles Garrett got paid.
Yeah, we talked about that and what it does to the market. Oh, that
Yeah,
hurts. That one hurts.
yeah, Dallas Goddard. Oh, yeah, they're trying to trade him. Trying to trade. He was trying to trade Dallas Goddard. He's another one that's kind of dealt with some injuries over the last few years. When he's on the field though,
Dude, when he
he's
played at the end of the
one of the
season
better
this
tight ends
year,
in the league.
holy shit.
Yeah, I mean,
He was a monster.
how old is he? 30.
All right,
Yeah,
so
he's
I mean,
30.
football terms, he's getting up there in age, but I mean, dude, at the end of the season and in the Super, I mean, he was an absolute monster.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised to see that. Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see that. I figured they'd want to keep that core together, keep him and obviously Saquon and Devontae and uh
AJ.
Jalen and them. Just yeah, AJ, keep them all together for at least another year. So that's a little surprising, especially given their cap situation. They're doing all right.
Yeah,
So that's a
right.
little surprising. But Patriots signed Harold Landry, which could be a solid pickup for them. I mean, I know Harold Landry isn't kind of what he used to be, but he still brings some heat off the edge, man. And the Patriots, they're kind of one of those teams where we talked about it with the Jaguars with the Christian Kirk signing. It's like you got to pay me more to come play for you. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you're not exactly a contender. So yeah, it's like one of those deals where it's like, you guys kind of stink. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a little more money. So you got to pay a little more to get the pieces you need. So Harold Landry to the Patriots, that's solid.
How about actually you mentioning that? How about I mean, you said his name, Christian Kirk. How about Kirk signing to the Texans or getting traded to the Texans and DK saying Houston was one of the spots he'd like to go? Who's
What's
kicking
funny
themselves
was,
worse? Do you think the
well, the
Texans
worst,
are like son of a bitch, or do you think DK's like, God damn it?
the worst part was that I can't remember. It might have been Deshaun Elliott. Um, I don't want to say it was him for sure. There were some Steelers that tagged Christian Kirk in some shit, and were
Yes,
like,
Deshaun
to the
Elliott was
Steelers,
one
were
of
like,
them.
yeah,
Yes.
sign him, like sign him. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we're trade for whatever. And it's like, well, you guys, you're lucky you waited.
Yeah, to say the
Yeah.
least.
Because like a first and a third for DK, I was like, but like a second, yeah, I'd
Oh,
burn that second.
I'm all
Yeah.
for it.
Because that's what Pittsburgh was probably going to go with anyway, was a receiver. So why not get an established receiver who's a freak of nature?
Yeah,
Like
actual absolute specimen.
yeah, one of those picks that Pittsburgh was going to have, probably top two picks, maybe three, was going to be a receiver. I mean,
Yeah.
no doubt. So why not? It's like when they traded for Minka. It's like everybody's like, oh, it's a shit trade to give a first round pick or whatever the hell it was. And it's like, dude, he's 26 years old, 25 years old or whatever. He's in the prime of his career and he's one
I
of the
think
best
he was
safeties in
like
the league.
24.
He
He
was
was
young as
young.
shit. He was just out of Alabama. He probably played for like what 3 4 years. Like yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like 24.
I'm all for it, dude. Yeah, man. It's like you already got an established player instead of drafting a rookie who might end up being a bust. Might as
Well,
well.
here it is, man. My phone just dinged. Pittsburgh update. Pittsburgh is planning to offer all the chips in on Sam Darnold.
I told you, dude. Sammy D.
Bro. I mean,
I'd be nervous with Sammy on that line, dude. If Fontenot
yes.
doesn't come back and he's healthy, and Broderick Jones is up and down like he was, James Daniels is a free agent,
Broderick
which
Jones had a great year. I will say the first 5 games it was rough, and after that, I don't know what happened, but he turned it around.
yeah. So I mean, they got some. If Fontenot comes back and he's good, and then obviously Broderick keeps getting better, then your tackles are good, and then
Well, they said
um,
they're moving Broderick over to the left side, his natural position.
are they?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that was the
Oh
word
yeah.
going into the season. So, I mean, could the line be good? Yes, but Sam Darnold needs a good line in front of him. I mean, and the Vikings line played well pretty much all season, and then there's a couple games where they just got murdered, and it showed. They got beat on. Um, bro, I don't. I mean, what else do you do though? You know what I mean? What else do you do? I mean, he's a 1 year wonder that was damn near out of the league. But what else do you do? I mean, my top thing was get Fields back in the building. Get Fields back in the building, or trade for Milton. And AR's been a hot spot, which AR's gonna they're probably gonna want a pretty high compensation for AR just for the sheer fact that AR just got drafted with a first round pick, so they're probably going to want something back. I wouldn't say a first, but they're going to want something. I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
We're in for a. I don't know. We're in for a. I think we're in for a wild ride of free agency.
well, I will say too that I think that with Pittsburgh and their current situation, um, a quarterback, and Sam Darnold says he wants a 3 year contract is what he wants. Um, so that locks you in for 3 years. He's going to want pretty good money just because he's going to cash in on the big season that he had.
Yep.
Obviously, that's what anybody would do. So he's going to want good money. So I imagine Justin Fields is probably in the same boat. He's probably like, dude, I want like a 3 year deal. I'm not doing this 1 year bullshit where I'm going to be bouncing around. You're the starter. You're not the starter. Like he's going to want some security, which I get. Like he's not going to want as much as Sam, but you got to kind of like weigh your, you know what I mean? It's, ugh, yeah, it's it's a slippery slope, man. And the Steelers line, I think they're fine. I think if Fountain works out, you guys, I think McCormick, you guys are good with him, and obviously Frazier. Frazier was
Yeah.
awesome.
He played
So
awesome.
yeah, so like you guys are fine. You still got Samalu, so they still got their line intact as long as Broderick keeps progressing and everything. Um, it's just you got to roll the dice with Sam Darnold, or whether it's Sam Darnold, whether it's Justin Fields, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Danny Dimes, whoever. Like you're gonna roll the dice, you
Yeah,
know.
you're not getting. I don't even know who to say. Um, I really don't. Who do I say? You're not getting. I'm just gonna say you're not getting a Dak Prescott that like. I would feel more comfortable with Dak Prescott in the offense, and I can't stand Dak Prescott. But like, I don't think it's as much as a crapshoot with would it be with Dak than with these other guys. You know what I mean? And don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. Like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Sam Darnold excelled, and Justin Jefferson is arguably the best receiver in the league. So maybe, just maybe, Sam Darnold can excel with George Pickens and DK Metcalf and Pat Fryermuth and Darnell Washington. Maybe they can maybe he can excel with them.
I think so, and I think we talked about it leading up to like the last couple weeks of the season, like playoffs, whatever. Um, Sam just looked poised, he looked comfortable, he looked good. I just want to know, like, are you a product of the system? Because like when Kirk Cousins left, he went to Atlanta, he didn't do shit. He was coming off an injury, I know, but so are you a product of the O'Connell system? Like
Kevin O'Connell,
that's
dude.
that's what we need to know. That's what we want to know. You got the weapons if you come to Pittsburgh. You got the weapons. Like it's Pittsburgh. We will get you a running back. I mean, Warren's solid, but we'll get you another guy. We'll get you a Quinshon Judkins or something like that. Like
Yes.
we got you. So
I mean, I
yeah,
wouldn't
it's
be
really
mad if
just
they got Stewart from A&M.
yeah. I mean, there's plenty of options.
It just I don't know, man. Pittsburgh does not develop quarterbacks. They don't. They don't have a good developmental process, and I think it could be. It could be like, man, we have all this talent on offense, and they're gonna blame the defense. It's just what Steeler fans do. They blame the defense, but when the defense is sucking wind because they're on the field 24/7 because of Arthur Smith's dog shit offense, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, time will tell. And it's concerning, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah, the quarterback they're gonna get, dude. J.K. Dobbins, front runners for J.K. Dude,
Dude, they've been a front runner for every running back in free agency I've seen,
and
dude.
every
It's like,
quarterback,
God dang.
and every
Yeah,
quarterback.
you guys are getting scat, dude. I ain't worried about it.
Stop it, please stop it. You have jinxed a lot of shit recently. Please do not jinx that, bro.
Yeah, you guys,
Please,
you guys are getting scat, dude.
we are not getting Scatabo, bro. We're not. Fucking stop, bro. Stop, please.
The latest incarnation of the white rhino.
Oh my god. I do want to put this out there before we close this out. Um, back on January 14th, I text Steven. January 14th. And I said, bro, hear me out. And this is whenever all this stuff came out. DK's unhappy in Seattle, blah, blah, blah. I text Steven and I said, bro, hear me out. What if DK came to Pittsburgh? Could you imagine him and GP on the same team just being a menace together? I said, think of the comedy those two would bring. The way that those two just snap on people on the field would be effing hilarious. Like, and it's happening in real life. I mean, I feel like I spoke that into existence. There's a lot of stuff that we say and do, and it comes to fruition. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. But that being said, anything else you would like to touch base on?
Nah, man. No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
You know who Baltimore should really look into? Obviously,
Who's that?
health depending, health depending. Bro, they should really look at Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
That wouldn't be a terrible look, honestly.
I was reading the Patriots are like all in on Chris Godwin. Like they're like, dude, it's either that or bust. Like we're going all in on Chris Godwin. So I mean, I don't know, dude. The Patriots might throw him some. He might get the Christian Kirk treatment, dude. He's gonna make
At
31
least
million.
at least he's better
Yeah,
than Christian Kirk.
he's gonna get a bigger contract than DK, dude. He's gonna be out here. Come off a broken fibula or whatever the hell it is, making 31 million a year.
What about Baltimore going after Josh Sweat or Khalil Mack?
I wouldn't be upset about either one of those guys. I love Khalil Mack.
Khalil
He's obviously
Mack
not.
has been still playing pretty
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, he's still. I mean, he's a menace against the run, and he still brings the heat off the edge. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would just love to draft a young edge rusher that we can develop like we did with Sizzle, and just have a guy like that, man. Like that's what I want. I want to draft an edge rusher who's going to come in and he's not going to be TJ. He doesn't have to be Sizzle. Like just somebody to just bring some heat, consistent pressure off the edge. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
that's all I want. Like I said, Chase Young, he's young, younger, but he's an injury risk, and he's, in my opinion, kind of lazy. Um, so, but I mean, even him at the right price on like a 1 year deal or whatever, I wouldn't be upset about it. But it's like, dude, and I think that if anybody could really, if John Harbaugh can't get it out of Chase Young, nobody will.
Nobody. Yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I mean, nobody will. I mean, because everybody that comes in here, like when Clowney was here, he came in and he played really well for us, and I just feel like I don't know, the atmosphere, whatever it is in the locker room, they just have an ability to just kind of bring out the best in whatever player. And if he can't bring out the best in Chase Young, then he's a lost cause.
Yes, agree. I agree with you
But yeah,
100%.
that's what I would like. That's what I would like for Baltimore, man. I'd like to get us another boundary corner, keep Marlon in the slot because he killed it in the slot, and obviously Wiggins is phenomenal. But I'd like to get another boundary corner, and I'd like to get a an edge rusher, and I know we have Devontae Walker, but I would like to get a receiver who's over 6 foot. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind
Where
of
do you
where I'm
think
at.
Dre Greenlaw goes?
Man, if I was him, I'd almost just re-sign with San Fran.
It's a perfect fit for him. Fred Warner is running mate, bro. Them two together, man. Whew.
Yeah, and after that, I mean that Achilles injury, that was such a unfortunate
Yeah.
freaking. It's one of those freak things, dude. Like,
Running out onto the field, bro.
dude, what was I gonna tell you? Oh, Devondre Campbell. Did you see that shit with him?
That would happen.
Dude, Devondre Campbell, like, I gotta find it. I'm sorry, I gotta find it. It was crazy. Devondre Campbell. I can't find it. Yeah, I don't want to drag this out, but yeah, he got shit for like quitting on the 49ers or whatever, man, and
Oh
like
yeah,
he
yeah,
went
yeah.
off, dude. Yeah, he went off, dude. I was like, damn, like, and I like Devondre Campbell, and for him to kind of go out like that, I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, and what did he said something? I'm rich. Yeah, I found it. I'm rich and never have to work another day in my life.
Yep, yep. Yeah, and when he was with the Packers, man, he always seemed like a cool, humble dude, and he was like the kind of the leader of that Packers defense. And then for him to go like that, I was just like, damn, like I did not see that coming from him. I guess that's
Yeah,
why the Packers let him go.
it,
'Cause
it's
maybe he was like that there.
it's crazy to think that these players, dude, you have an opportunity to make millions to just step on a football field, dude. It's crazy, man. It is so crazy.
Yeah, and so many times like after they retire, after like 3 to 5 years, they're broke.
Yeah, all the time.
And it's like, dude, like
Well, I love
I
listening
don't
to
know.
Shaq talk about it, dude.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause Shaq keeps it real, dude. They need these young athletes that are coming in, dude. They need to listen to these older athletes that have been there and done that and stuff like that, and really like Tyreek Hill with all these kids, dude. It's like, do you think you're gonna play 18 more years, dude? Like, is that what you think? You're gonna be making NFL money for 18 more years? Is that
Right.
what you think? 'Cause them kids ain't cheap. Them kids ain't
No.
cheap.
Real quick, because
Yeah,
we're coming up on the 2 hour mark. Actually, we're
yeah.
at 147. Did you see what Debo said?
Uh-uh.
He said, "I'm ready to play for a proven quarterback," referring to Jaden Daniels.
Oh my God. Damn.
Hey, I will go back and I'll post a clip. I said it. That Brock Purdy's a product of this.
Yeah, but damn. Debo, you might want to just kind of focus on getting in shape and getting them hammies right, dude. You know what I mean? Like maybe focus on that. Maybe play a full season and whatnot. You know. And I like Debo. I do. I've always liked Debo, but yeah, I mean, and I'm not the biggest Brock Purdy guy in the world, obviously, but yeah, that's kind of a unnecessary jab.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's kind of uncalled for.
Yeah, I seen that and I was like, damn. Damn.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna get on the hype train and be like, "Oh, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant," but the dude was a Mr. Irrelevant pick. He was a seventh round pick, dude, and for him to have the success that he's had,
Yeah,
you know, and he's
yeah.
never bitched about his contract, and he's played very well, and the dude makes he makes pennies, you know, like compared to these other players, he didn't make dick. So at that point, you're almost better off going undrafted. So like, yeah, man, that's kind of unnecessary in my opinion.
I
But I
agree with
like
you.
Debo.
Yeah, I like Debo, but I
I'm
agree with
glad we
you.
didn't trade for him though.
I'm glad we didn't trade for him, and I'm glad we didn't trade for Cooper Cup, and I'm glad we didn't sign Aaron Rodgers, but there's still time for that part. But yeah, let's close this thing out, man. It's been a good 2 hour talk about football and pretty much everything we've been talking about the last week and a half or 2 weeks. Wednesday's gonna be wild, man. That's when the free agency actually kicks off, and I think you're gonna see some crazy things happen.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, same. And I'm on vacation this week, so I can just chill Wednesday, grab some beers, and just have the tea on. With that being said, we're gonna close this thing out. As always, we are BS Draftcast because we're Brandon and Steven, and all we do is BS about football. And we will see you on the next one. Barring Steven leaving for work, we'll obviously try and put up a video. Maybe actually, since I'm on vacation, we could do a video during free agency. Maybe watch Draft Ticker just shoot the shit about football and um, kind of as it goes. Or not Draft Ticker. Watch as the free agent ticker's going. That actually might be pretty ham. Do a little live free agency like watching as everything's going and happening.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Just shoot
We'll
the
see how
shit
everything
about
plays out.
football like we do anything and go from there.
Well, it's gonna be about a 3-day drive, so I mean, I'm sure
Right.
that whenever I eventually stop or whatever, we can do one too, probably to keep me
Yeah.
somewhat, I don't know, sense of
Sane.
normalcy.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone, all the followers, and everyone tuning in. We greatly appreciate everything. Make sure you guys are commenting, man. We read every comment. We had some viewers in here. Don't be scared. There's no comment that's stupid or dumb. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but we like the feedback.